It's James here from goodguitarist.com, and today I want to show you a super easy, super recognizable bluesy guitar riff that's perfect for beginners, but also something that anybody of any level would undoubtedly use while playing the blues. If you're unsure of the chord structure and all of the other stuff associated with the 12-bar blues, I taught another lesson where we went over everything that you need to know in order to play the blues, and I'll put that in the corner. Also, there's a worksheet for this lesson available on my Patreon page if you'd like a written, printable copy of everything that we cover in today's lesson. Anyways, on to our riff. So we're playing a 12-bar blues in the key of A, which uses the A, D, and E chords, and that riff fits in the last 4 bars. You know, when it goes E, D, A, A. And this is called a turnaround. You know, the chord progression is the turnaround portion of the blues, and the lick is called a turnaround lick. So we strum or we solo over the E part, over the D part, and then when we land on that A, you know, we play our lick. We'll start learning it by making an A7 shape. You know, the lick relies on this shape heavily. So our middle finger goes on the 2nd fret of the D string, and our ring finger on the 2nd fret of the B string. We strum the chord once on beat 1, and then we slide it up to the 5th fret, and we do a bit of a pattern. We play the lower note, the higher note, and then the lower note again. So it'll look like this. And you can use your pick for both of those notes. But if you're having trouble with the aiming, or you just want to do something that's going to be surefire, you use your pick on the lower note and then your middle finger on the higher note. You know, that's what I'd prefer doing. But you can do literally anything. You know, you could pick it all, you could finger pick them, do whatever you want. As long as you play low, high, low, do whatever works for you. So we play those notes like this. And what's most important here is the timing. We want to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And when we're counting it that way, we strum our chord on beat 1. Or you could even just pluck those 2 notes. 1 and Then we come up to the 5th fret and we go 2 and So the low one on 2 and Then we move it down to the 4th fret and we go 3 and Then we go down to the 2nd fret, 4 and and then we're back where we started. And let's just get that so far. Nice and slow, counting along. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I want you to do it a whole bunch of times, just like that, counting nice and slow. You can see how it all lines up here. And once you're comfortable with that, there's one more bit that we're going to add at the very end. On the D string, we're going to go 0, 1, 2. So the notes are pretty straightforward. It doesn't really matter what fingers you play them with, but I'm going to use my index for the 1st fret, my middle for the 2nd. 0, 1, 2. And when we look at the rhythm, that happens on 2 and So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And now we can add that to the first bit. It'll go like this. I want to try it together with the metronome at a super slow tempo. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. 1, 2, again. 4. 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And once we're comfortable isolating that lick and playing it by itself, we have to place it in the right spot in the blues to, maximize its effectiveness, right? We have our E chord, our D chord, and then back to the start of the blues. So you can see right there where it fits in. You can see all this on the screen. If you need some help with the fundamentals of lead, I have a free lead guitar ebook. There's a link in the corner for that. It goes over all the basics. I also have that worksheet and backing track on my Patreon page to help you practice everything that we learned today. There's a link for that down below. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.